if you didn't know anything, you better learn quick. You know, it's a bunch of wolves out there. I didn't meet too many sheets.
Be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant is, who the cooperating witness may be, and you'll never know somebody who was a friend today may have been flipped the night before and become your enemy tomorrow.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines, while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray with y'all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is going to send you big. Lock the door.
Russell Billy Mail, the Hood Post, man. Who I'm here with today?
WestKavi, man. How you doing?
WestKavi, man. First of all, man, let's talk about that name. How did you even get that name? Explain. Let's walk us through that, man, because people might hear the term Cabbie, but don't necessarily understand how it's defined and how did you associate yourself to it. So walk us through.
All right, so the West came from my last name. My last name is Wesley. So everybody used to spell my last name W-E-S-T-L-E-Y, but it's W-E-S-L-E-Y. I just spell it W-E-S-T because I'm from the West, you know, and I'm repping the whole West Coast. Anything that's West, that's what I'm repping. You know, Cabbie came from because, you know, my whole life, my name is Lil Cracklow from the neighborhood I'm from. You know, that's the old me, but I changed it to Cabbie because everybody know what crack is.
Just so they'll know exactly where you're from. Let's say that, and then we can take it from there. Where are you from?
I'm from Long Beach, California.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And that'd be Eastside.
The Eastside,
Okay,
Eastside of Long Beach.
Got it. So growing up, what was some of your inspirations in forest? Because you're an artist, right?
Yes, sir.
And engineer. Well, give us your background on what actually you do in music, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, I rap, you know, melody sing, produce, you know, engineer, mix and master. I do it all. You know, I come from a family of music, both sides of my family. You know, so that's where the music comes from. Really, from my grandfather. You know, he was big doing his thing in the music thing, and you know, I carried it on.
Who was your inspiration in the music, and who and what led you down the path of, okay, hip hop, this is where I'm going with it?
To be honest with you, you know, I'm from Long Beach. My inspiration was Snoop. I ain't gonna say any lies. Snoop was my inspiration, just to see where he came from and watch him being around my cousins and uncles and stuff. He's a close friend to the family. Watching him being who he is and watching them freestyle at Kings Park, that inspired me. And then see him come from the gutter to where he at now, it was amazing. So that inspired me to do something different, you know?
When I look at it, in terms of Dub Shack, Snoop, Warren G.
I was around all of
and
them.
back when they had open mic at the Quiet Cannon and also the freestyles in Kings Park. I think that a lot of people don't understand how much went into that.
Yeah.
To shape it. And then we can't leave out VIP. And I'm gonna take you even a step back.
Well, it was a candy store. It was called the Whistler.
And we can't even leave out the Cocoa Palms that became Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
Because that was, that was like the catapult of the music era. I mean, that took that circle, and took everybody around that circle because that was the club where everybody frequented in Long Beach, if I'm not speaking incorrectly. Yeah. But okay, Cabbie, so, man, talk to me about what was it like in Long Beach, Kings Park, living over there where you live, and then dealing with all the different personalities in order to figure out who you were as a producer, rapper, and person that wanted to have your own walk and lifestyle in the music business.
Oh man.
I know that I said a lot, but go do what you can with that.
Man, Long Beach is Long Beach, man. Only the strongest survive. That's the best way I could tell you. It was a little rough coming up. If you didn't know anything, you better learn quick. It's a bunch of wolves out there. I didn't meet too many sheets. And then, me being, when I had to find my place was, I hid of me being a nerd. I'm gonna be honest, I hid being a nerd because I was surrounded by so many gangsters. So I had to figure out my spot where I was at. I played basketball, I played baseball, I did my thing, played with the music here and there, but when I started seeing people doing their music and I learned that I had a voice and I knew how to rhyme good, that's what I knew what my place was. But I had to figure out what I was gonna do different from them. Was I gonna keep my music gangster, which now I did that side, but now I'm like, okay, everything don't have to be gangster. I'm more than that. I come from something that's a steady foundation. Long Beach just ain't gangbanging. It's a bunch of talent that came from out of Long Beach. A bunch of talent that been in there. A lot of people don't realize, Richard Pryor was there when he came and did his what was that show he did back in the 70s when he did a stand-up comedy.
I remember he did a couple of them. I can't recall. I remember he did That Nigga's Crazy, and then he did the
Hollywood one.
Yeah, the Hollywood one. Of course.
Yeah. So it was pretty rough though, but I got moved out of Long Beach when my grandmother found out I was getting involved with gangs and stuff. Moved to Fontana, but I had to find my place, knowing who I was as a man.
That's interesting that you mentioned Richard Pryor because actually that's where the Insanes get their. That's where that come from. That off that album, That's Niggas Crazy. I mean, just hold it up for a moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
And when now you say it, and I see that picture, the picture of the front cover.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's where that come from.
I did not know that.
Watch what I'm gonna do it. Let me get a jump with it. Bam.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
crazy.
that's where that come from.
Yeah.
But in terms of gangster, right? Because we all grew up in these neighborhoods and environments, and there were influences and people we saw that damn, not knowing the outcome, but we kind of maybe patting our ism behind that individual.
My own vision what a gangster is, basically.
Yes. Who was that for you?
Me, I grew up around a lot of older people. Well, the way my dad taught me and my uncles taught me and my cousins taught me, gangster is not to be seen or be heard, but family orientated. And, keeping it gangster is taking care of your own, taking care of your people and in your community, not tearing it down. Being for your people, that's gangster to me.
And that's a good way to put it because there's so many false narratives out there. Even when we look at terms of how people in other states carry, they don't really know that they really carry a false narrative. It is not the true narrative that was the representative of what this West Coast culture is about.
Yeah.
But moving back to the music, Snoop inspired you, BIP carried you, or BIP built you, Kings Park made you, per se, right?
Yeah.
So when you put all that together, how do you define Cabbie, WestKavi? Define it for us, because we want to know what is the essence of what makes you do. Because I was in the studio with you, and man, you went hard. Because I saw how you strategically like became a general in there, along with my guy Flex.
Yeah, it's my boy Flex right here.
That's the Flex right there.
Bang
Flex. And then we want to talk about that logo as well. But when you're in the studio, what's your mindset?
We getting to work. Not only it's a job, but this is a way to express yourself the best way you can. Like, some people don't have outlets to vent, and some people use their hands in violence or tearing up the streets. Before I get to that, when I noticed that I was talented in music, I'd rather use that, tear up the mic, and get my frustration out. So it's a way of expressing yourself or who you are and venting to somebody, because you never know what you're saying. That's why now that I'm older, I understand that what my words carry, so I'm very careful what I'm saying. So when I approach it, I want to make sure that when I'm rapping my lyrics, I'm writing them as of, we talked about this earlier, like standing in front, I'm making a statement. I'm speaking as like I'm Malcolm X or Martin Luther King making a speech, and I'm talking directly to you. And when I'm talking directly to you, I'm knowing that I'm in your ear. So when I'm in your ear, I can either change your situation to make it better, or I could change it to make it for the worse. I'd rather make it better for you. I've been through this. I'd rather give you something that you can relate to and show you what my outlet was, and maybe it will help you, give and gain.
Can you give us a consequential moment in your life that changed the trajectory of where you're going? Because you might have started off in the gang area, but then something happened to where you say, wait a minute, and you redirect yourself. In other words, you took the navigation system and reprogrammed it and chose another destination and another route.
It was really two situations. My first situation was I turned 30 years old, and I recognized that when I was active, I was attacking people that simple like that. That was like, their body language was like me. I was looking at them like I didn't want nobody to be harder than me. So basically, I was trying to harm the people. Nipsey talked about it, and it's true. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was beating myself up, beating my own people up, and I didn't want to. When I recognized that, it really messed with me and made me realize I had to really sit down and reevaluate myself. So I corrected it. Then my second situation that was very tragic, I lost a very close cousin. My cousin, y'all know, Ellis Spillman, Lil Shag. It was like a Superman to me. Like, he been shot over 20 times and he survived. It's just this one time he didn't make it. And that was like a big thrash to the family. And when that happened, it changed it changed the whole direction of my life. Like, damn, even the hardest of the hardest could be touched and lose their life. So I had to really sit down and ask myself, if this is what you want. He almost made it out of life. He was 42 years old. I'm 42. Do I want to die at that age? About that, I got 3 grandkids, So it's like, do you want to live a longevity life, or you want to make it short? So when you hit your 40s, you just living your life, because you learning. Now everything that you doing it got to make sense. And if I'm gonna do something correctly, it's gonna be with this music, man. I'm gonna make it make sense. But my cousin was a tragic situation to me.
And you repositioned yourself.
Yeah, I repositioned my whole lifestyle, the way I talk, the way I present myself. You know, I try my hardest to stay away from certain things like bad energy. That's my thing, it's energy. The energy ain't correct, I'ma move around you. You know, that's just the way I move.
Were there any congratulatory moments that people say, hey man, I appreciate that the fact that I saw you as a kid, but now I can really appreciate the fact that you reposition yourself and change your life. Did anybody come up to you and just extend that courtesy? Because people was watching.
My little brother.
Talk to me about that.
My little brother is like my world, you know. He didn't have his father in his life, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, he watched me go through the worst and move through what I was doing and called being reckless and seeing my grandmother cry, because we was raised by our grandparents. And for him to be sitting down and becoming the man that he is, and he called me one day and was like, bro, I thank you for teaching me everything that you taught me. And I wouldn't be the man who I am now if it wasn't for you. And me seeing you change your life, it made me change my direction. The way you gave me the mindset when you started changing, and I started watching you, it makes sense. So I thank you for that. And that meant everything to me, because I didn't realize he was really looking up to me like that, you know? Yeah.
One thing that we do well, man, and for whatever reason, we trauma bond. We bond under trauma. Let there be a funeral. How many homies gonna show up?
Man, I said it
people you ain't seen in 5 and 10 years, they show up, man. So therefore, we got more obituaries than we do friendships.
More obituaries than graduations.
We got more obituaries than graduations. We got more obituaries than completions of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we bond under trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And it has become really, man, we arrested development, man. We socially dysfunction.
By the way, that group is a hard group.
Yeah, I love it.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
But sorry about that. I was off track.
No, that's fine. But we digging in right now. We kicking the ball back and forth like soccer. And that's what these interviews are about. People don't understand, man. I got a purpose and a meaning. I'm not gonna get on the internet arguing with people, or because it's meaningless, it's fruitless, and it doesn't build. Because we tying in this Long Beach, man, this thing in Long Beach, man,
we was thick last night in that studio, man.
And
it
became something huge, man. You know what I mean? And last night, you was a representative of a Cabbie. You represented well, because them hits you put together last night, phenomenal.
This motherfucker right here,
phenomenal.
He is the 1980 Cabbie. You know, the 1980 Cabbie, that was that shit that had the motherfuckers stealing grandma's VCRs and shit. You know, that shit. That was that uncut shit. And the homie right here,
the one that kept him up 3 or 4 days, and wouldn't let him go to sleep.
He's giving them that uncut, hard, live West Coast.
He got that T-shirt, huh?
He's giving them that authentic, hardcore West Coast, uncut.
No, because I heard that drum.
Boom, live shit.
I heard it in there. You know what I mean? I heard it.
You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him when it's given.
I heard it.
You can't take it away from a nigga that's giving it to him.
Man.
And he's giving it to him. You can't take that. I don't give a fuck who you is, how you play it, how you come about it, but you can't take that from another young player right here coming in this game.
That's right.
That's giving it to him, man. And I had to step back and sit my hat down and give it to my young player right there. He's shitting on him.
That's it, man. With that being said, P-Lo, West Coast Cabbie.
You already know West Coast, nigga.
Cabbie.
Man, I just came from my hood.
Lock the door. Lock the door.
He
Lock
locked
the
his
door.
shit down.
Lock it.
Peace.
Scally Miners, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me. That's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted.